it's going like that. Complaints. I have this, I always have stress talk that I always post on my YouTube. Um, Whichever YouTube that has become. But here, I'll just do it like this. Pretty much, I want to talk about leadership. Leadership is a very important thing. People who lead make the right decisions for everyone, intrinsically, not extrinsically for yourself, but for everyone. And those choices are legal choices. Consent over things that are general. You have to consent to your First Amendment of free speech, expression, religion. You don't have that same right over somebody's personal decisions in their life. Those are human laws that you shouldn't have control over. It's trapped in someone. Okay, let's do it again. Leadership. So a leadership, you can own something, you can own a business. When you have a piece of property, it's yours. No one should be able to take it. No one should break it. You don't have a right to break your own property if someone is accustomed to using it and you're aware of it. Unless they're mishandling it and you can dispute it legally. But here it goes. Socially, when we have to not be aware of the things that we think, when we're interacting with one another and it works against each other, it's very important to acknowledge our roles in a situation. We have a right to an opinion, but when our opinions harms other people, the right is lost. It's called recklessness. It's called gross negligence. Your behavior has obstructed the autonomy of the regular life of someone at the moment. So for instance, I'm the leader of my business. I'm the leader of my life. So I'm giving you a direction and an order right now. That's the legit intrinsic order to have. Either I give the order or I don't. Now, a second party that doesn't have the authorization to give that order should not be able to come and tell you what to do. You understand? That's the same thing about our personal lives. People do not have the right to take a leadership role over your life. So for instance, it usually happens like this. Because at my personal job, I'm the manager, or because I'm a parent to kids, or I treated somebody like shit before and I get away with it all the time, that this is what it feels like to be a leader. And so with that quality, I can overconsume you with it and start making decisions to the people in your personal life, in your business, and they start listening. Now say you work as a boss for a bank, and somebody says, well, at home, this is how my kids listen, and they say to your staff members, because they just got hired, that no, you do this and you do that, and they listen. You're all fired, by the way, when you finish listening to this person. But that should be life, too. Because sometimes our opinions may be our own value systems from somewhere else. Just because in your house, your house, you had to share with a bunch of people that you're scared to, let the food sit because somebody else might eat it. Doesn't mean here it's going to apply. And so your values to, kind of want more, a little bit of like thinking a scarcity issue, it's my personal situation somewhere else. But, to that extent, like your personal values shouldn't affect someone else, all right? So just because I'm not used to a bunch of people eating my food doesn't mean I should eat it fast, all right? Or, I don't know. Where did that come from? But anyway, so look, And this is why we shouldn't intrude, because look how I feel about that. Leadership. When you make a decision from your personal values, they may just apply to you and not everyone else. And so that might change something that didn't need to change, that you think should, because your values, and you're not able to differentiate your personal life from someone else's. And that's leadership. And so we have groups, we have popular groups, we have unpopular groups, we have groups that we come from, we have groups we want to get into. And so we try to fit the ideologies of them. And so, like a city, like New York City, it's built in districts. Every community has a district, and they all have something different about them. Hell's Kitchen has bars and restaurants, mom and pop stores, and then a little further up has they have retails, a little less bars and residents. So everywhere is different to a similar extent. Therefore, we try to meet the criteria to be in those places. And that's the only way we can fit in. And so, by I guess having this conception of that will allow you to prepare yourself to be in those abstracts and not outside of them, seeming like an intruder of them, but kind of fit the atmosphere quality. So for instance, I'm gonna complain because it's like when Loki in the Avengers, you walk through the tube, like what the hell is he doing in this universe? It's like it's invading territories when we are jumping into somebody's lives, giving our personal leadership over them without acknowledging its appropriation. It changes things that shouldn't change. It gives an impression to people that think something is practical and it exists when it really was inappropriate and doesn't apply. So there's people acting a certain way that they think applies and it doesn't apply, and they're held responsible for their actions now. That could turn into a fight because I'm the boss of this here. You want to fight the boss? What, I look like a skinny dude with a striped shirt on the camera? Let me take off my shirt, show you who I am. Don't want to fight with the leader. Anyway, okay. So, but beyond leadership, I want to go to another complaint. So, okay, just because you've pushed people around and you've bossed them around, and that makes you think that you have the right to start making decisions for other people. I want to talk about, just kind of like other people, like, when you just sit there and just kind of like, it's like someone who is, not sedated, but sedentary, we just kind of like sit there with all these qualities that they're unlikable, and so it chases people away. There are people like that. So what we have a group, in groups, we have people, popular groups, these places in different districts and different communities that are different. We want to get there. So we see somebody, they're in this group, and we want to be there with them. And so we can't, but this person can. Skinny guy with the striped shirt, the stripes on his shirt. And say, well, he has stripes on his shirt. He should be in prison. Like, won't you just remove him and use me? It seems like it's okay to say because it's not like 5 o'clock crime and 10 o'clock news crime. It seems okay because it's not that bad, but it's terrible. It's terrible. I shouldn't be replaced by you because you assume that you're not having fun right now, and that using any attribute. It didn't have to be the stripes. It could have been the beard. Discrimination. It could have been a quality with skin color. It could have been my front hairline, which I'm still mad about. Gotta go to Turkey, get a wig. Anyway, it could have been anything, you know? And so if we behave like this repetitiously, moment for moment, then we're in a lose-loss situation, lose-lose. There is no mutual benefits. There's only a zero-sum fight. Nobody benefits. Where moment to moment we see something qualifying about a person that we say something negative about them to replace ourselves, to eliminate them from a group. I was just having fun, and now nobody likes me. You ruined my reputation. Now I'm distressed. You defamed me with your libidinous, your libel ways. Does it make sense? Leadership, business, conflicts of interest, this all makes sense. Your gross negligence to describe me like this and interfere with my interacting was reckless, and it caused harm onto me and the people around me. You hear? So my personal business, if you don't think it's mine, you think you can just take it and have your way with it and let other people exploit, it's like breaking an entry. It's like opening the door and saying, everybody go, take what you want, shoplift. You understand? It's inciting insurrections too. It's like going in a theater or a concert, yelling fire. Who's held responsible? Gotta make sense when you behave. If you want to be a professional, the things I'm saying, you should learn about them. And not because I have stripes on my shirt that you should know it, not him, but because you care that much, you're so passionate about things that are important, you should realize what it takes to for things to become important, because you're passionate about that. You understand? Just because I can do something good doesn't mean you can automatically do it. You have to work hard at it. Oh, because I'm still doing it, you want to mess up how I do it, so when I do it, it doesn't look good. These are choices that we make, and it describes who we are inside. It doesn't describe the person that you're identifying. It just shows that we're capable of being incorrect. So if you see me making a mistake, you shouldn't judge me with an attribute where everybody doesn't like me forever. Instead, you should say, better luck next time, or correct me. If you want to do it correct, this is the way to do it. Not train me to make mistakes and fail. You understand where I'm coming from? So I got to go through a whole day in a civilization where 9 to 5s are important, commerce is important, and discuss issues like this more than enjoying my personal life. I can't even get to regular business by then because I'm stuck distressed. And it's our fault because we don't address responsibility enough in the communities and find the right services, or just kind of look around and see if these are events that we're having, how are they playing out? To see the best efforts. We do that with headphones with lights and play music in them with a bunch of people partying, and every light has a different song, and they party together when they see the light, and nobody but the people with the headphones can hear the music. So we can do that with the way we feel about the things that we're going through and create programs and initiatives and invest in those things and put them in a community to correct all these people and make them behave in a way that they understand to not affect life, and we won't have problems. And if you seem important and you think you are because you just feel like that and you're affecting people, you need to be informed also and trained. All right, I'm Ramiro. I'm gonna log off, and if I have another complaint, you know